Welcome back to Australia, guys. We are here in Melbourne, Victoria, a brand new city, a brand new state. There's over 5 million people here in Melbourne, so it's a pretty big place. We've heard there's a lot of fun things to do, so we can't wait to check out some unique places over the next few days.
We actually arrived in Melbourne this morning after taking an overnight flight. We then caught the Sky bus into the city, checked into a hotel, had a quick nap, freshened up, and now we're ready to go and explore.
One of the first things we've noticed is that it's a lot colder here compared to the other places we've been in Australia so far. That's probably because we're quite far down south. And you probably notice around courts. That's because apparently you can see all 4 seasons in one day here in Melbourne, and it is picking to rain a little bit, so I think we might actually see that today.
So the other day I said there's a fun fact about Melbourne that I need to tell you.
Yeah.
And you were wondering what it was?
Yeah.
This right here is the first traffic lights installed in Australia.
Right.
What a random fact. This crossroad right here.
Oh, Australia ever.
Yeah, in Australia, like over 100 years ago, I think.
Oh,
or 100 years ago-ish.
That's mad.
So Melbourne CBD area is made up of loads of lanes, and they're known as the laneways, and they're famous for their graffiti. There's a few of them sketchy looking with just some bins down like a dark back alley that you wouldn't really want to walk down late at night. A lot of them have restaurants, cafes and shops, which was where we picked up some lunch from a pizzeria called Rossie's. We've come to the most popular lane called Hosier Lane, which is full of graffiti, and it's just full of people taking photos. The city seems to have a really cool contrast between new buildings and old buildings. You've got like the skyscraper skyline, and then there's some really old buildings just mixed in between.
You can definitely tell this is one of the oldest cities, and it was actually the capital for a small period of time before Canberra.
We think we're able to get up to a really high viewpoint. I don't know if the weather's the best for it, but because it's the first day here, we're going to try and do that anyway.
So we've come up to the Eureka 89 Skydeck, and apparently the views are going to be insane.
Whoa, that is wild.
I think this is the best viewpoint we've ever been to.
100%, we've never been this high up. We're 88 floors up right now.
Oh, look how you look down.
That is a long way down. Oh, it's windy. I love how you can come outside to like a deck area to experience the wind that's up here, because it is a bit crazy, but the view is insane, and you can see how high up you are. It's really good.
Down by the Yarra River now, and there's actually a path all the way along the river, and it gives some really cool views of the skyscrapers.
Yeah, it's giving me like London vibes. It's the only city that we've been to that is comparable to London in any way, I feel. You've got the skyscrapers, the river area where there's a walkway and there's loads of restaurants and stuff on the other side. Very London feels. Guys, they've also got a helicopter landing pad, and apparently you could take scenic flight tours and city tours.
This is what I meant earlier by you see 4 seasons in one day. Over here, beautiful blue skies, looks like a summer's day. On the other side, grey clouds, looks like it's going to absolutely chip down any minute now.
And it is starting to rain a little bit.
It is starting to rain.
We're down on the Riverside called Southbank now, and it's giving me the exact same vibes as Southbank in London gives me.
Same name as well.
You've got all like really nice restaurants along the front, you've got the river, and then you've just got the skyline in the background. It's really cool. I don't know if you can see, but it's absolutely hammering down.
Taking cover under a tree. We're still walking along the river now, but we're literally about 5 minutes out of the city. It's just behind us, and it is so quiet here. You can't hear the trams, you can't hear the cars, the trains, nothing. You've got just a couple of people walking their dogs and going for a jog, and it is so peaceful.
I love the backdrop that we're walking to though, with the skyscrapers in the background. It just looks really cool. Like, I can't get enough of just videoing the skyscrapers and stuff. It's really cool. Also, I don't want to talk about the weather too much in this video, but Why is the whole sky now blue skies and the rain has just stopped completely?
I just don't understand Melbourne weather. I just can't understand it.
The weather here is so temperamental, it seems. We just seen a sign for the Melbourne Olympics Park, and we don't remember the Olympics being held in Melbourne. And the reason for that is, we just googled it. It was in 1956, so long before we were born. Surprisingly, it's like a 10-minute walk to the city centre, which is really convenient. We've been to some in the past that are really far out, like the one in Munich was about an hour walk, so you can just imagine it being really convenient to get to and from the city centre. The skyline looks so cool from the Riverside, and if you can see this building right here, that is the building that we went up for the viewpoint. Highly recommend going up there.
We're heading back into the CBD area now. We're actually going to catch the tram. There's a free tram zone in the middle of the CBD area. Ash will put a little map here to show you. And it takes you to all the top sites in the city. So it's really super handy that you can get basically anywhere in the middle of the CBD area for free.
We want to get out the rain a bit, so we've come to like one of the main shopping streets. Look how cool it is. There's so much going on around here. There's just people everywhere.
There is. If you definitely want to come shopping somewhere in Australia, I feel like Melbourne's the place. There's so many shops I've never even heard of yet.
I don't know if you can see, but they've got all these lights just above the streets. I can imagine that's really cool, lit up in the dark. We've just stumbled across a shopping mall, and this place looks absolutely huge.
We've got a bit of a thing about ending up in shopping malls in all the cities we go to.
Especially if the weather's bad.
Especially if the weather's bad. It's a good place to come and hide away from the rain. But this one's really modern.
And really big.
And really, really big. There's like one, two, three, 4, 5, 6, like 7 floors.
It was like hidden away as well. We just sort of like stumbled across
it. It was just, we walked into one shop and then this happened. I have to be a little bit quiet because we've come to Victoria State Library. Sounds a bit strange coming to a library. When you see this library, you'll understand why we've come here.
It's actually down as a landmark, so we have to check it out. Probably one of the most satisfying libraries I've ever seen in my life.
Never been so impressed by a library before. I feel like Nicolas Cage is about to come in and find his next clue from the national treasure. It's giving me those kind of library vibes.
Yeah, or something off the Mummy.
Yes. Just come back to the hotel now, and we're actually heading to an outdoor cinema tonight, which should be really, really fun.
The movie starts at last light, so as soon as the sun's gone, this film will start. We're watching the menu, and we're watching it in a botanical gardens. It looks really cool online.
So you bring your own blankets and pillows and things, and apparently there's a food truck that sells like some drinks and hopefully some popcorn.